Good Monday evening, everyone. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for parts of our area. This severe thunderstorm warning includes those of you in the southwestern half of Jackson County in northeast Alabama and also far northern Marshall County in northeast Alabama. This warning will go in effect until 6:45 p.m. Central Time. That's 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's for this supercell thunderstorm here that's moving across the south side of Huntsville right now, right over the Arsenal, and that's moving due east, and it's getting ready to cross Memorial Parkway here very soon, and eventually move into southwestern Jackson County and also the Grant area of Marshall County here within the next 30 minutes or so. So if you know anybody in these locations here, tag them, share this to them, whatever you want to do. Just make sure they get the word that there are severe thunderstorms heading their way, and that they could potentially produce heavy downpours, frequent lightning, as well as the possibility of some hail as well. Hail could be up to quarter size. Gusts could be upwards of 50 to 60 miles an hour. And there is, and I do want to note here on the velocity scan, there is a little bit, just a little bit aloft that I'm watching here of some broad rotation. It's not at the surface or anything like that, but up aloft there is just a little bit of some broad circulation trying to happen here. And you can kind of tell there is, just on the velocity scope here, you can see a little bit of a notch here, right here on this leading edge. It's nothing crazy, nothing too big at the moment, but right now there is a little bit of broad circulation aloft that will have to be monitored here in case this were to try to develop a spin up or something. So right now the main threat with this is hail and damaging winds as this moves across the south side of Huntsville and eventually into southwestern Jackson County here within the next half hour. So heads up in Woodville, heads up in Pleasant Groves, heads up in Section, in Scottsboro and Hollywood, as well as Skyline. You guys are going to be in line of this over the next 30 minutes to an hour. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to put a track out on this storm, and we're going to track it from the edge of the most intense part of the thunderstorm and go east from there. So we're going to go right here and draw it out. And we'll take it all the way out here to Sam Mountain pretty much, just out of precaution. So Gurley, this will be in your area within the next half hour. Within about 39 minutes to Woodville. Pleasant Groves within 48 minutes. Within the next hour in Scottsboro, as well as Section. And then also within the next hour and a quarter in Hollywood and Dutton. So eventually within the next 1 to 2 hours, this storm, if it holds together, will impact Sand Mountain and then eventually areas in between. And if this also holds together, those of you in southern Dade and parts of Walker counties, you could also get this thunderstorm within the next hour or two, depending on if it can hold together. Now, there's also some other areas of thunderstorms I'm watching. Now, here across southern Tennessee, there are some thunderstorms here, some lightning and thunder, but this is non-severe up here. So what you see moving across southern Tennessee is non-severe and nothing to worry about. The main severe area that I'm focusing on is this here across northeast Alabama. So right now the only warning and the only area seeing severe weather at this time is Jackson County and Madison County in northeastern Alabama. Those are the only areas at this time that are experiencing severe weather. So again, if you know somebody that's in southwestern Jackson County or even in the Grant area of Marshall County, just whatever you do, just tag them, let them know what's going on. And also, if you have any storm reports that you can safely send, or let me know what's happening where you are in relation to what's happening here with radar and such, let me know if you're experiencing rain or thunder, lightning, whatever that may be. That'll also help with giving kind of a picture as to what people down the road can expect here down the road. So here's the current situation. Again, here's the latest radar scan. Again, the most severe part of this thunderstorm is moving just south of downtown Huntsville. This road where it says 231 is Memorial Parkway, and it's going to move directly east here across 431, so Owens Crossroads area, and Gurley will be up next to see this, and then it will move out of Madison County and into southwestern Jackson County in the vicinity of Paint Rock. So if you're in Paint Rock, heads up there. Also in Woodville, heads up for your location. Also for Pleasant Grove. So the first communities in Jackson County that'll be in line for this severe thunderstorm will be Woodville, Paint Rock, and Pleasant Groves. After that, it'll be a concern for Aspel, which is just west of Scottsboro there along 72. Also for Langston on the south side, Section on the south side, and also the city of Scottsboro itself, so the downtown area and up to Hollywood. Those will be the next areas in line for this. And then if this storm holds together after it gets past the warned area, then this could be a problem for places like Henniger and Pisgah, Rosalie, Dutton, Sylvania, those areas of Sand Mountain. So this is just something we're going to watch here over the next 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours. Again, we're in live severe weather coverage here, so just to let you know, since we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of our area. And again, I do want to reiterate here, those on the Tennessee side watching, again, all you have up in here, I know it's probably raining and you may have some rumbles going on up in Lynchburg, Fayetteville, Winchester, Estill Springs, Deckard, Pelham area, but nothing severe up in here. Again, all the severe activity is staying to your south. All you're getting is just some good soaking rain, some occasional thunder and lightning, but nothing big up here on the Tennessee side. Again, all the severe stuff is down here across northeastern Alabama at this time. Now let's check the velocities here and see if we got an update. And again, some pretty strong winds in here being indicated. Again, they could be on the order of 50 to 60 miles an hour, little as 40, possibly as high as 60 in some pockets here. And we're still getting a little bit of this green and red being broadly opposite of one another. That does indicate some upper level rotation, just a little bit, not much. It's not big, it's just broad, but it's definitely something that I'm watching here as this crosses over the parkway here on the south side of Huntsville and moves over the mountain there and into the Owens Crossroad area. And then eventually this will be, again, getting ready to cross 72. So if you know somebody that's traveling between Huntsville and Scottsboro on 72, give them a heads up that a severe thunderstorm with damaging winds and hail is going to cross 72 within the next 30 minutes to an hour. So if you know somebody that's driving along 72 or driving along any road between Huntsville and Scottsboro there, between Madison and Jackson counties, give them a heads up. Say, hey, there's a severe thunderstorm with wind and hail moving in, and you definitely don't want to be out there. And if it gets too heavy, just pull off to the side of the road, find a nearby open building, business, whatever that may be, get inside there and wait this out until it passes. So again, that's just a travel advisory for those between Scottsboro and Huntsville along 72 to, just be safe out there. If you have to be out, be safe, but more importantly, try not to be out in the road and let this storm pass. And this will also impact Alabama Highway 65 as well as Alabama Highway 79 and also Alabama Highway 35 as well. So these are also some roads here in the south, some major roads here in the southwest end of Jackson County that are also going to be getting this strong thunderstorm. Now again, here's a new radar scan. Good news is that intensity came down just a tad. I mean, we're still getting some pink in here that does indicate some hail, but so far it has trended a little weaker. And just a quick note here, this live coverage is also being broadcasted on my YouTube channel, which is Chase Bryant Weather, in addition to Facebook. So if you want to watch on the YouTube side as well, you can go over there. Again, it's the same name as my Facebook page here. It's Chase Bryant Weather. So you can look that up, subscribe for free, and you can watch this coverage on there as well. So there's multiple outlets that you can see my live severe weather coverage on too. So just to quickly point that out, that this is also being broadcasted on my YouTube channel too. And again, there's also another thunderstorm that's popped up out ahead of this that's non-severe, but it's pretty potent. Might have some pea-sized hail in it as it moves in towards the Skyline area. So it's this cell right in here. And considering there's so many different thunderstorms here, I'm going to circle which ones are severe. This one right here is the severe one. And I'll put a different color here. And actually, I'll reverse that and put that in red because that's the severe one. So here's the severe one right here. And here are the non-severe storm I'm watching. This one right here over western Jackson County, moving towards Skyline. And here are the other ones back out here towards the western Huntsville area. So again, the red one you see right here, that's the one with the severe warning. And then these out here out ahead and just behind it are the non-severe ones. So these are all moving to the east here at about 30 miles an hour. So this is going to cover pretty much a vast majority of northeast Alabama here within the next 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours. So it's going to be a pretty noisy, bumpy Monday evening up in here especially. And also further south here, Guntersville Lake is getting some good thunderstorms right now, but these are non-severe. DeKalb County, Alabama, you're starting to get rain and thunderstorm development over here, but this is currently non-severe, just some rain and rumbles across DeKalb County. So, and it looks like that the majority of this cell, at least the severe part of this cell, is going to pass mostly north of Fort Payne and Rainsville for the most part. So it does look like you guys will be on the south side in better shape. But if it does hold together, those of you up here towards Ider, Pisgah, Henniger, Sylvania, Hammondville, Valley Head, up towards Sulphur Springs and Mentone, you could end up being impacted by this thunderstorm within the next hour or so. So giving you a quick heads up there. Hopefully it weakens before then. But if this severe thunderstorm holds together, this will probably impact at least a good portion of the Sand Mountain communities. And then down the road, we could be talking about northern Chattooga County in Georgia around Tryon, and possibly southern Dade County around Rising Fawn, and also around Lafayette and Villanelle in southern Walker County here down the road too. So just to give y'all a heads up here for our northwest Georgia communities. And again, out here to the west, let's see what else we got out here. We got more thunderstorms out here to the west, but these are non-severe at the moment. This one that's over Moulton had a severe thunderstorm warning on it earlier, but that has since expired. That has weakened quite a bit, so that's good. That's going to be an issue for those of you in Marshall County and DeKalb County down the road from this cell. And then up here across southern Tennessee, I know this looks really heavy up in here, and it probably is, but the good thing here is the heavy rain and thunderstorms moved across Wayne, Lawrence, Giles, Lincoln, Moore, and Franklin counties are not severe. This is just some good old-fashioned rain, some occasional bolts of lightning and thunder, and the beginning of that activity is starting to move into Grundy County and Marion County now, so you're starting to get the rain picking up in here. And also Dade County is starting to get a little bit of rain pickup on the north side of the county, up there by New England and Wildwood, but again, that's not severe. So again, the one severe warning that I'm working right now is this one right here that has the severe thunderstorm warning on it for southeastern Madison County, including South Huntsville, and also southwestern Jackson County and the Grant community of northern Marshall County. Those are the only areas currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. And I do want to quickly point out here that if you are in Stevenson and Bridgeport, this is not going to impact you. So if you're in Stevenson or Bridgeport or Higdon or Bryant, this is not going to be a storm for you. I mean, this severe storm is going to pass to your south. Yes, you'll have rain. Yes, you'll have some thunderstorms, but the severe part of this is going to stay south of you. So you're good up there in Stevenson, Bridgeport, High Top, and up towards Higdon and Bryant and Long Island. You guys are good up there, and even as far south as Flat Rock. The only part of the county of Jackson County, Alabama that's going to get this is going to be the southern half of the county. So you could pretty much draw a line from like Skyline down to about a Rosalie and south into a Scottsboro, Dutton, Pisgah section, Langston, Woodville area. Those are going to be the spots that get this severe thunderstorm here for over the next 30 minutes to an hour. So again, let's see if they've updated the warning here. I've seen it update a couple of times, so I figured let me double check and see where we're at on this warning. Let's see here. I'm going to pull it up on my end. Again, this severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 6:45 for northeastern Marshall, southwestern Jackson, and southeastern Madison counties. Again, I'm reading out the warning here to you. This goes in effect until 6:45. At 5:57 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Owens Crossroads, or 8 miles east of Redstone Arsenal. It's moving off to the east at 30 miles an hour. Hazard is 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts at quarter-size hail. Source is radar indicated. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees in the warned area. Locations that are in the path of this include southern Huntsville, Scottsboro, Redstone Arsenal, Owens Crossroads, Hollywood, Grant, Gurley, Section, Woodville, and Pleasant Groves. So those are the locations in the path of this. So I'll read those locations out to you again. Southern Huntsville, Scottsboro, Owens Crossroads, Hollywood, Grant, Gurley, Section, Woodville, and Pleasant Groves. Those are if you live in those locations, be inside, be in a good safe place, away from windows. Don't take your tornado precautions necessarily in those areas, but be on standby at least, because there is a little bit of broad circulation trying to form at least up aloft that could try to re-intensify. And we'll check velocities here to see. And the good thing is this continues to broaden out, so that's a good thing. So this thing's continuing to stay disorganized on that end, and it's staying a straight line wind and hail producing storm as opposed to a tornadic storm. So that's some very encouraging news there. So as long as this stays broad and disorganized as far as the wind standpoint is concerned, we're not going to have to really worry too much about tornadic activity out of this. Again, considering the elevation changes this storm is going through as it goes up and down these mountains out in here in northeast Alabama, it'll be something we'll have to watch here, because I mean, storms, when they move into this area, and I've seen this time and time again, sometimes it can actually increase the possibility of a spin up, and can also sometimes rip apart a storm. So we're hoping that that's what happens here, is that maybe this will rip apart this storm. At least the mountains in this case would rip apart it. So we're hopeful for that. But right now, we still got this warning in effect for the next 45 minutes. Again, the time right now is 6 o'clock with Central Time at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And again, we got this one warning. We don't have any other warnings out there. So for those of you just tuning in, I'll do a quick overview. Again, up here, McMinnville, Crossville, up in here to the north, you got some rain. It looks like a little bit of thunder that may move in over there over the next hour or two, but you don't have anything severe to worry about up towards I-40 and anywhere on the Tennessee side. Now you're probably noticing a pickup in the lightning and thunder moving across from Franklin County into Marion and Southern Grundy counties, but the good thing here is with this is just rain and some rumbles of thunder here. Nothing too worrisome there, but don't be surprised if you hear a loud clap of thunder or see a little bit of lightning there over the next hour or two. But again, this is right here is what the main area is here across northeastern Alabama, from the east sides of the Huntsville metro area points east into Scottsboro. And there's a new radar scan. Again, this storm continues to, it's still pretty healthy, but it's getting a little more disorganized here. As you see here, it's becoming a big mess, or I wouldn't call it a big blob of rain and storms quite yet, but it's definitely becoming more and more disorganized as this time goes along. Again, still stay vigilant here. Don't let your guard down just yet, because again, sometimes these storms will cycle and they may go through a weak stage, and then the next thing you know, they start re-strengthening again. So it's just something that we'll have to keep an eye out on here over the next half hour or so, just to see what this thunderstorm does. Again, the wind fields in this thing, as said, they're weakening as well. So that's another good sign. I'm not seeing anything really in here that stands out on this side. And again, we got a new warning update coming in. But you see here on this end, on the green, you got some winds here blowing toward the radar at about 20 to 30. And you got winds blowing away from the radar at about 10 to 20 here. So actually, technically, when you add those numbers together, that actually keeps the thunderstorm below severe criteria. So there is a chance that if the weakening trend continues with this thunderstorm, the warning may get dropped off and all that. So we're hoping for that to be the case. Now let's see make sure I didn't miss that, because that new update just came across. Let's see what else we got. See if anything's changed with that. At 6:02, this was as of right now, so this is just coming in. A severe thunderstorm was located over Owens Crossroads, or 10 miles southeast of Huntsville, moving east at 30 miles an hour. And the hail size, one thing of note on this, the hail size has been downgraded from quarter size to nickel size. Winds are still 50 to 60 miles an hour. At least the gusts are. It's radar indicated. Expect damage to roof siding and trees. Locations that are in the path, again, I'll read these out to you again. Southern Huntsville, Scottsboro, Owens Crossroads, Hollywood, Grant, Gurley, Section, Woodville, Pleasant Groves, and Langston. Those are the areas that are in the path of this, and we're still getting a pretty good concentration here of heavy lightning in here, so this is definitely a loud thunderstorm, so you're definitely going to hear the impact of that here across the southern two-thirds of Jackson County here, just from this big mass here of heavy rain and thunderstorms. And again, right here in the middle, there could be some hail involved in that, but the hail size is slowly decreasing. And looking here at the rotation track here, you can actually see that It was actually it was trying to get intense earlier as it was moving across the arsenal there aloft, but notice over the last few frames that rotation track really comes down. And what you look for on this scale is on this rotation track is you look for these bright yellow, reds, and whites. That indicates some upper level rotation. And there was some broad rotation being indicated, but thankfully that is weakened considerably, and there's nothing left of that now, so that's good. And with that said, the severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed, has actually canceled. So just in, you saw the warning polygon there just go away just now. That has now been canceled. So the severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Jackson County, northern Marshall County, and Madison County has been canceled. The thunderstorm has fallen below severe levels and is no longer a severe threat to the warned area. Now, when I put on the other polygon here, which is the special weather statement, the special weather statement remains in effect for looks like some penny-sized hail and 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts for the next 10 minutes. So this is a special weather statement. So this has been downgraded, basically, from a severe thunderstorm warning to a special weather statement. So some good news for those of you watching in southwestern Jackson County and also in the Grant area and over into the Huntsville area as well. So again, what I'm going to do here, we're going to hold on here for at least a few more minutes here just to make sure we don't get a new strengthening or anything like that. And so far, the wind, as you see here, you see every color everywhere on here, so that's actually a good sign. That means the thunderstorms are pretty much disorganized, and they're all trying to battle each other and, fight and compete for, for one to be dominant, whatever not. So the competition in that is keeping the storms disorganized. And there's the new statement right there. So this new special weather statement is a downgrade from the severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect. So that's what this warning has been replaced with, is a special weather statement. And it also includes more areas. So pretty much almost all of Jackson County except Stevenson and Bridgeport, basically. I mean, pretty much most of the county. So let me get you the information on that here real quick, since that just came across the wire. This goes in effect here until 6:45, so the same time as the severe thunderstorm warning was in effect. A strong thunderstorm will impact northern Marshall, western Jackson, southeastern Madison, and west central DeKalb counties in Alabama through 6:45 p.m. Central Time. At 6:06, Doppler radar is tracking a strong thunderstorm near Owens Crossroads, or 10 miles southeast of Huntsville. It's moving east at 35 miles an hour. Location, it says here, the hazards are wind gusts in excess of 30 miles an hour and pea-sized hail. Sources radar indicated. Gusty winds could blow down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. So locations that are in the path of this storm include Scottsboro, Hollywood, Grant, Skyline, Gurley, Section, and Woodville. So those are the locations in the path of this strong thunderstorm. And the severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 10 o'clock p.m. for north central and northeastern Alabama. So speaking of the watch, let's review that real quick in case you might need a reminder of who's included and who's not. So in Alabama, in our area at least, the severe thunderstorm watch locally includes Jackson, DeKalb, and Marshall counties. In Georgia, locally, the severe thunderstorm watch includes Chattooga, Dade, and Walker counties. Those are the only 6 counties locally that are under any kind of severe thunderstorm watch or anything like that. There's no warnings in effect locally right now. That was allowed to expire. However, the severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, in case we get a re-intensification of any thunderstorms that could try to challenge severe levels here. And if there were to be any in that form, it would be in this zone right here that you see from east of I-65 through Sand Mountain in northeast Alabama and into northwest Georgia, mainly along and west of I-75. So that's the way it's looking here, and we'll check the wind mode here just to see if anything's changed, and so far, no, it hasn't. Again, when you get the reds and greens separated like that, that's a good sign as well, because that says there's no rotation. The reds and greens aren't meeting, so that's a great sign. So this is mainly gusty wind heavy downpours and perhaps some lightning and also maybe even some pea-sized hail in some locations, but it's not big. But one thing you'll note in this, a lot of lightning. I mean, you can see it on this map right here. A lot of lightning strikes, a lot of that ongoing. So I said we'll hang around here for a little bit since we got this one advisor here just in case it tries to ramp up here for a little bit of time. Again, I'll pan out here and take some time here, and I'll actually go into the comments section here and see if we got any questions here that I can answer here since we don't have any severe warnings in effect. I'll take some time and do some chatting. A good bit of lightning and some light rain in Fort Payne. Again, I'm reading your reports here. Thundering here now at the foot of Lookout Mountain in Trenton. Some thunder, wind, and lightning in Tracy. Dalton area, these thunderstorms will be heading your way within the next hour or two. What's Dunlap looking like in Chattanooga? Just rain and thunder up that way. So rain and thunder on the Tennessee side. Just a sprinkle of rain in Whitwell. Henniger, over there on Sand Mountain, you will be getting these strong thunderstorms there within the next hour or so get ready there. So far, they're below severe limits as of the last update, but if that changes, I'll let you know. But definitely expect some strong thunderstorms in the Henniger area within the next hour. Lookout Valley here. Pisgah and Higdon. Pisgah, you're probably going to get a stronger thunderstorm than Higdon will. So this complex you see here, that's over moving into Scottsboro, that's going to be in your area here very soon in Pisgah. You'll be on the lighter end, but you'll still get some moderate to heavy rain up there towards Higdon. But the heaviest will be for Pisgah. Let's see. Right now, lightning now in Rising Fawn, thunder and sprinkling in Jasper. Just rain and thunder for Bridgeport. Mostly rain and thunder for Fort O. Let's see here. Winchester, just rain up that way. Rain and thunder in Winchester, just that. Yeah, this should. With all the rain we've been having the past week, I'm hoping that this will also put a dent in the drought too. Now, I did see a recent outlook from the Weather Prediction Center where they did put the Squatchy Valley and points south in the northeast parts of northeast Alabama and west in drought removal. So I do believe we will probably see that here at some point. I'll be very shocked if it doesn't happen, to be honest. Let's see here. Bridgeport, Alabama, light rain and thunder. Some crazy lightning in Scottsboro. Thundering and some rain South Pitt. Whitwell, you'll just be getting the rain and thunder and some lightning. Nothing big there. Let's see here. Raining now here in New Hope. Thundering in South Pitt. In Pisgah and Henniger, should we be going to shelter? No. No need to shelter anymore. The warning's been canceled, and so far, I haven't seen signs of re-intensification. So for the time being, at least for right now, you don't need to shelter down that way. Thunder and lightning in Belvedere, thunder and rumbling thunder in Bryant, Crossville. This is going to be well south of you. Crossville, Tennessee, up there by I-40. This is going to be way south of you. I mean, you'll get some rain up there probably, but nothing much up that way. And no, this is not tornado warned anymore. So some good news on that end of things. Is it just a thunderstorm or tornado potential in Trenton? Just a thunderstorm. Just the severe thunderstorm. Yeah, that's true. If something did drop on that Scottsboro storm, you wouldn't be able to see it at all. Yeah, because I mean that's true. Because unfortunately, if anything did drop, it'd be so wrapped up in rain. I mean, and that's what the majority of our storms are down here. The majority of our storms are rain wrapped because we got a lot of moisture. I mean, we're right above the Gulf there, and the Gulf is what helps supply the moisture that gets the big storms and stuff up here. So when you have all that moisture and you're that close to the main moisture source, it allows more these thunderstorms to become what we call high precipitation supercells, and that's what causes any tornadoes and stuff to usually be wrapped in rain. So we don't have any tornadoes right now, but generally the majority of the storms in our area are heavy precipitation filled and heavy precipitation wrapped. So it makes it pretty much impossible to see any kind of rotation or anything like that. Starting to get dark and cloudy in Rock Spring. Thunder and Bridgeport's getting closer and louder. So, yep, Thunder and Jasper sounds awful. Belvedere, just rain and thunder there. Chickamauga's still good. So, let's see here. Colton wants to know if anyone has any hunting land for him to go to. So if you guys have any suggestions for a Colton here in the comments, let him know. I don't know of any hunting spots personally, but if y'all have any, let him know. How's it looking towards Appleton? Just rain and some thunder out there within about the next hour or so. So the severe stuff's going to be the strong stuff. I'll just say strong stuff. The strong stuff's going to stay south. Nothing in Rossville yet. So yeah. So as I said, this rain and then again the Wednesday night storms, those should help put out and really help us out. Like I said, the more we soak this ground, going into the spring, and allow time afterwards, at least a few days afterwards, to let it soak into the ground, that'll help us, especially from the Sequatchie Valley and east. But that said, I think most of the area is in better shape on the drought end of things based off all the rain we've been getting. And checking out the wind mode here real quick just to make sure nothing's really ramped up, and so far I haven't seen that. Now what's going on here with this thunderstorm is it moves east and east of the high top radar, and it's right here. So where you see that little hand up there at the top above high top, I got that there because that's the radar site. So that's where the radar site is. And as this moves away from the radar site, it's going to go from this green on the velocity scope, which is wind moving toward the radar, and it will switch to the red, which is the motion away from the radar. And I'll illustrate that here real quick to show you that, because I know it may be a little confusing. So what I'll do here is I'll draw the direction of where that's going. So the red here is moving away from the radar site, and the green, you see here at the bottom of the screen, is moving toward. So it's opposite directions, basically. That's how the velocity works here. So as this storm moves away from that radar site, it's going to show more red instead of green. And if there were to be any mixing of the two colors, then that would indicate possible rotation. And so far, I've not seen that yet. So that's some good news there for those of you in northeast Alabama here at this time. And then back out here to the west here real quick, there is more heavy rain activity that's moving out of the shoals and moving towards I-65. So this back here is going to move east. Now the good thing here is, considering this is moving at about 30 to 40 miles an hour, we should get a lot of this rain and thunderstorm activity out of here fairly quickly. And then we're going to have another wave of this here during the overnight hours. So we're going to time that out here real fast. And I'm going to have to refresh this here because we got some new information. So let me X out of this here real quick. And I'm going to put the radar back on here so we can be able to do that here with the modeling. So it'll take me just a minute there to load that. So there we go. So here's the latest, actually the newest information that I have. So there's the next few hours. Now this is overestimating the colors here, but you can see here that heavy rain and thunderstorm activity will continue moving from west to east, especially from areas across southern Tennessee and points south. Again, for the Tennessee side, just rain and thunder, getting a little heavy at times. The strongest thunderstorm activity will be across northeast Alabama and north Georgia here over the next few hours. Good thing here is by midnight, it's gone. So this first wave is gone right just before midnight. And then we'll have more thunderstorms popping up overnight into the morning hours of Tuesday here. So there will be some more scattered thunderstorms that could produce some heavy downpours, some lightning, maybe a little small hail in a few locations, but again, nothing severe with this overnight wave. Again, I'll be up tracking though out of precaution, so I'll keep tabs of it. There's 6 a.m. in the morning, some scattered areas of rain and a few thunderstorms mixed in. Again, not everybody's seeing it at the same time, but there will be locations that will see it. And then that's going to be a trend that continues during the morning. But that should taper off as we get into the afternoon and evening tomorrow, Tuesday. So here's the current situation here for those tuning in. We got one advisory working here. Small hails, maybe some pea-sized hail, and gusty winds here across southern Jackson County into northern Marshall and western DeKalb counties of northeast Alabama. And that's the only area seeing strong thunderstorm activity at the moment. We got a lot of lightning with this. Again, wind also a little gusty. Could have some pea-sized hail, but nothing large. And again, no indications, and I want to stress this point here. We did have a little bit of broad rotation when the cell was over South Huntsville, or a little bit of broad rotation aloft, but that has ever since weakened considerably, and it's just one wind direction now. So just a straight line wind here as it moves it. But again, that straight line wind can still knock some tree limbs over, and that can still be problematic. So just a heads up there for those of you in the Scottsboro area, because this is pretty much moving in on you as we speak. So again, Scottsboro's getting in on this pretty much right now. Hollywood, you're about to. If it hadn't gotten there yet, it'll be there very soon. And again, this heaviest part of the storm, where you see the pink out here that indicates maybe some pea-sized hail, is moving over Woodville. And it's tracking right along Highway 72 and up Alabama Highway 79 here, heading towards the south side of Scottsboro and down there by the river, and also over towards Section, Dutton, and Pisgah on sand. So, and even Langston there on the south side. So that's going to be the trajectory where this goes. And what I'll do here is put a little track on that for you and help you out with that. So that's going to be moving east at 35 miles an hour. So we'll put that east in that direction. And we'll just time it out and go to the Georgia state line with this. And again, good thing it did it automatically there. Scottsboro here it's already hitting you now, but from these thunderstorms, but this heavy part right out here near Woodville will impact your area within the next 20 to 30 minutes. About the same time, 20 to 30 minutes in Section, around 30 to 40 minutes in Pisgah, about 40 to 50 minutes in Sylvania and Henniger. Eider within the next hour. It'll be sooner from this, but if this cell to the south and west holds together, it'll get to you within the next hour. And then Valley Head also within the next hour. So that would include also Hammondville and Mentone as well, there in northern DeKalb County. And then after that, it'll be an issue for parts of southern Dade County there, south of Trenton, down towards Rising Fawn. You'll be next up to see this, as well as the Kensington, Cooper Heights area of Walker County into Lafayette and Villanelle as well. And then down here to the south, possibly as far south as Somerville, Tryon, and Menlo, in the northern end of Chattooga County. You'll be getting this activity too here within the next hour or two. And then up here to the north on the Tennessee end, we're getting some heavy downpours and some thunder up in here, south of Murfreesboro, north and east of Shelbyville, moving up into Woodbury. McMinnville, you're about to get in on this activity here pretty soon, but it's non-severe. Some showers and downpours around Spencer at the moment, at least around downtown Spencer. And then a little shower there moving up towards Cookville. And again, here's a shower here moving towards Melvine and areas along the, right near the correctional facility there in Bledsoe County along the Cumberland County line. So a little shower there. And then points from there to the west, some heavy downpours in here, but nothing severe. And here's the big rain mass here that extends from Lawrenceburg all the way into Hamilton County, extending into Sequatchie County there in Dunlap, some light to moderate rain there. Along and south of Highway 108 in Grundy County, basically from Grootley down through Tracy and Monteagle, Palmer area, Colmont, and out towards Pelham, some rain there. And then also, all of Franklin County is covered in the rain. Most of Coffee County is seeing at least light rain, and then moderate to heavy rain continues with some thunder from Lynchburg, Moore County, Lincoln County, Fayetteville area, and out towards Pulaski and Lawrenceburg. So that's the situation up in here. But again, none of this on the Tennessee side is severe. I do want to stress that point. So that's the good news there. Now, this one little cell here, south of Spencer, might have some pea-sized hail in it that just popped up on the map. They're around Piney, but Again, that's not severe at the moment. Just a heavy, really more of a heavy downpour than anything up there. Again, checking on this strong storm again. Just got a fresh new scan in here. Radar scan continues to show a pretty strong wind field in here with this strong storm moving across southwestern Jackson County and far northern Marshall County. Again, it's non-severe at the moment, but it's definitely a gusty thunderstorm and one that you'll hear loudly, moving pretty much right down 72 here. Again, Scottsboro's getting hammered pretty good with heavy downpours, as well as Hollywood. And this cell here is going to head to river here very soon, so hopefully everybody's off the lake. You definitely don't want to be out there with this lightning. And heading out towards Section, Dutton, Langston, and Pisgah here very soon. And in Gunnersville, Arab is, you guys are all getting in on this activity, but it's about to get even heavier soon because you got a cell, pretty strong thunderstorm in Morgan County heading your way. That'll be moving into Marshall here within the next 30 minutes. And in Albertville, you'll be getting in on the activity too. And in Fort Payne, you'll be getting in on the rain and thunderstorms here soon too. Rainsville, same mountain, same thing. So it's really this is really becoming right in here. You can kind of tell here, and I'll put a loop on this for you here over the last hour. You see this is actually all coming together as one. So it's really gone from cells being a little bit more individualized, and it's all trying to form a cluster right here that extends from basically Hollywood all the way down to east of I-65 and then moving east from there. So you can kind of see right here that all of this is becoming one cluster, and it's all moving like this. So this is going to move basically over the southern half of Jackson, affect pretty much all of DeKalb County, most of Marshall County as well, and then out here towards Chattooga County, perhaps Gordon County. So heads up out towards Calhoun. You'll be getting some thunderstorms here within the next couple of hours. And in Dalton, you'll be on the north edge of this. Same with Chatsworth. Chickamauga, you'll be on the north end of this, but this is non-severe for you. Same thing with Trenton. You'll be on the far north side of this, but the heaviest will likely affect more of Rising Fawn than you, but you'll get some lightning and rain from this. And then down here to the south, same thing. So far, as I said, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings or anything like that in effect at the moment. We just had this one statement, what we call a special weather statement. That's basically a significant weather advisory, which is a step below a severe thunderstorm warning. So in other words, that just indicates that there could be some small hail and gusty winds, 30, 40, maybe 50 miles an hour with that. That's the basic definition for a special weather statement in this instance, or a significant weather advisory. So that's pretty much what this is about. Now, you'll never get a warning. You'll never get a warning for lightning. I mean, let's be real. You'll never get a warning for just lightning. Even as tense and as widespread lightning can be, you won't get a severe thunderstorm warning just for lightning. The basic criteria for severe thunderstorms is a wind gust of 58 miles per hour or higher, or hail that is 1 inch or larger in diameter, which would be quarter size. Or a tornado. Those are the only three ways you can get, at least one of the three ways you can have a severe thunderstorm, even when you have a lot of lightning. So, in order to have a severe storm, it must meet one of those criterias. It must meet the 58 mile per hour wind gusts or greater, the hail of 1 inch, quarter size or larger, or a tornado in order for it to be a severe thunderstorm. So that's just something to note of here as we get into our spring severe weather season, which is well underway at this point. Now we'll go ahead here and give a brief preview here, a couple minute preview here, since we don't have any warnings in effect here. I do want to give a brief little preview to what Wednesday might look like. I got a new model run here after the last video update here earlier this afternoon, and I do want to share that with you. Again, this is from the experimental RRFS model. This is actually supposed to take over the NAM model at some point later this year. And there's some severe thunderstorms southwest of us in Mississippi. But here's the Wednesday situation. So I fast forward this future cast here. So this is dinner time on Wednesday. So basically evening commute. It's got some very intense thunderstorms moving across Middle Tennessee. oops, I didn't mean to skip that far. Again, notice here by 6 on Wednesday, thunderstorms move east. Now, the one thing I want to note from this is that it shows more cellular storms, but I believe this is all going to be mostly linear. Now, I can't rule out some discrete storm trying to form out ahead, but I think that Wednesday evening, Wednesday night situation is going to be more of a linear damaging wind event than anything. And as we go through the night, Wednesday night, you'll see this line getting itself together as it moves to the east into our area. And then with time, again, I don't know why it skipped there, but then overnight, it will weaken a little. And then by sunrise on Thursday, it'll be here. So, again, just a heads up, we'll have a risk for severe storms again on as we get into a Wednesday night and the early Thursday morning. But more specifically, Wednesday evening and night. That'll be our next chance for, at least next opportunity for strong to severe storms. Not to take away that we'll have additional scattered storms and rain overnight and through the first half, on and off at times, the first half of Tuesday. But the next round of potentially severe thunderstorms with tagged severe on it will be Wednesday p.m., basically Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. So again, back down to the currents here, and I'll go back in the comments here in just a second to update see if we got any new questions or anything that's popped. Here's the current situation here, at least as far as these strong thunderstorms. These are moving from, again, west to east. Again, wind fields are still pretty strong in here, and they've actually increased a little bit, so it wouldn't surprise me if this gets upgraded yet again to another severe thunderstorm warning down the road. But at the moment, this is the situation. Again, Scottsboro, you're getting the worst of this right now. Same with Woodville, the Aspel community there along 72. Also there along Alabama Highway 79, Gunnersville Lake, Langston section. This is moving into your area right now. And then the rest of Marshall County will be getting this soon, as well as DeKalb County in Alabama. So with that said, let me answer some questions here. Just joined. Do we have anything tonight? Not on the Tennessee side. So for Chattanooga and on the Tennessee side, you guys are good. So in fact, for southern Tennessee, you're all clear from severe thunderstorms. You'll have rain, you'll have some thunder, but on the Tennessee side, you're clear from severe storms. This is all just a northeast Alabama and northwest Georgia event. That's going to be what this is. Going to get bad in Summerville. Yeah, you're going to get some thunderstorms. Now, it's still a little far out to say for sure if it will be severe by the time it gets there. But right now, it's not for the moment so far. Now, there is a possibility that if it strengthens, that you could get a severe thunderstorm warning down the road when it gets to you. But at the moment, right now, these storms are below severe levels. So hopefully they'll stay that way. Fingers crossed. Think Sand Mountain will have issues once it gets up it? Good question. I really don't want to say yes or no either way, but I will say there's always that chance it could, because what can happen here is as these storms ride up mountains here, as they go up in elevation, sometimes that can set off a little bit of spin, and that's what has helped lead to tornadoes, to spin up tornadoes historically on Sand Mountain over the years. So far, as of this minute, I've not seen signs of that just yet, and I'm hoping it never happens. I mean, I'm just saying, at least right now, I don't see signs of rotation in these thunderstorms. Now, I'll double check velocity since we got a new scan just to make sure, and as I said, it'll take just a minute here, but yeah, so far this is staying pretty much one linear color, so far so good. So as long as we don't see the red and green meeting on the velocity scope here, then we won't have to worry about rotation. So hopefully, as this heads up Sand Mountain, I'm hoping that it will stay where it is now, and hopefully it stays on the weak side and stays just a strong thunderstorm with just some gusty winds, heavy rain, and lightning. But again, we'll just have to wait and see what happens here over the next few minutes, which is another reason why I'm hanging around here, just to make sure that if there were to be anything that gets caught, like rotation or something, we'll be able to catch it here live and be able to warn on it here in advance. But so far, no signs of that right now. Do we have storms for Dunlap? No. Just some rain up that way, and you get some thunder, but nothing severe there. For once, Estill Springs not in red. Yes, that is correct. Just some light to moderate rain up there. When is it supposed to get bad in Walker County and Lafayette? Within the next hour or so, mainly in the southern half of the county, mainly Lafayette area and Villanelle and over towards Cooper Heights and south. That'd be the only part of Walker County that really gets heavy activity. The northern half of the county from Chickamauga north will stay in the moderate to occasionally heavy rain category. Altamont there in Grundy County, just some. You're about to get rain soon. I know it hadn't rained up there just yet, but you're going to get some rain there shortly, but nothing more. Richard City, South Pittsburgh, slight rain with thunder and lightning. Nothing too serious. Just started raining in Lookout Valley. And we now have a new advisory here that just got posted here, I want to point out. This is for a hail of 1/4 of an inch and 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So that's pea-size hail and wind gusts of 50 to 55. So this is actually getting close to severe criteria. Remember, severe criteria is 58 miles an hour. So this is actually getting close to that. So this new significant weather advisory here goes in effect. Let me get you a time frame there. That goes in effect until 7:15. So 7:15 p.m. Central Time is when this goes in effect. This is the next significant weather advisory. Again, I'll read that out to you here. A strong thunderstorm will impact northeastern Marshall, southern Jackson, and central DeKalb counties through 7:15. At 6:35, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Woodville or 11 miles west of Scottsboro. It is moving east at 30 miles an hour. Hazard is wind gusts of 50 to 55 miles an hour and pea-size hail, and it's radar indicated. Gusty winds could blow down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects in the advisory area. Locations that are in the path of this include Scottsboro, Fort Payne, Rainsville, Henniger, Sylvania, Fife, Hollywood, Powell, Grant, and Section. So those are the spots in Jackson County in the path of, and also portions of DeKalb and Marshall that are in the path of this strong thunderstorm. Again, this pretty much includes a lot of the communities here on the central side of Sand Mountain there in Jackson and DeKalb counties. So it includes Fife. It also includes Sylvania, Powell, Henniger, Langston, Section, Dutton, Pisgah. Even Rosalie's on the northern end of this. So not quite Eider. Eider is just outside of this, but even there you'll be getting some heavy rain and thunderstorms here very soon if you haven't already. And again, the wind mode on this continues to look, as I said, one color here, so that's a good sign. We're just seeing mostly red. I know you're seeing green down here, but that's because this is moving up and this is moving south here. The red's moving south away from the radar. So at least this right now, this red right here has been the most dominant. So that just indicates right there some strong winds, strong straight line winds that are moving to the east-southeast from Scottsboro and Grant and getting ready to move on top of Sand Mountain here pretty soon. Here within the next probably 5-10 minutes here, and it's actually doing so right now. As you see, it's crossing over Alabama Highway 79 as we speak and crossing right over the river. So pretty much from where the bridge is right there that crosses over between Section and Scottsboro there along Alabama Highway 35 and south, that's going to be the zone where this gusty wind area and the heaviest thunderstorm activity crosses. And again, as I said, we're getting again. Here's the reflectivity, what you're used to seeing, and as you see here, it's a big mess. I mean, just a big mess right here, big disorganized mess. Always very encouraging to see that. I mean, at least as far as severe weather is concerned, because that tells us right there that tells me right there that the odds of anything really severe happening other than straight line wind gusts is pretty low, as long as it stays disorganized. And again, this is heading towards those of you in Fort Payne. So Fort Payne, Valley Head, Hammondville, Mentone, this is heading your way next. So heads up out that way. Up here on the Tennessee side, getting some pretty good thunderstorms here developing on this north end. Up here by Woodbury and McMinnville and Spencer, but so far not seeing any evidence of severe activity, just some regular thunderstorms up in here. But these are actually growing a little bit up here. And I believe it's coming here from this outflow of this big hill here to the south. So probably the outflow from this is sparking some scattered thunderstorms to the north of this rain shield. So again, you're probably going to get a little loud there, McMinnville and up towards Rock Island, Centertown, Woodbury, Spencer area. But again, this right here is nothing to worry about. And then some sprinkles over towards Crossville there showing up on radar. Cleveland is now getting in on the rain, so rain's starting to pick up in Cleveland, and it's about to in Athens and Delano, Etowah, and Benton as well here soon. And then Collegedale, Ottawa, downtown Chattanooga, the rain's starting to get a little heavier there. Moderate rain across Marion County, pretty much the whole county. All of Franklin County too, and all of Lincoln County is covered in moderate to heavy rain here with some lightning bolts too added. Thames Ford Lake's getting hammered pretty good with some heavy rain, and then same with Lake Nickajack here in southern Marion County, so just make sure you're off the water and all that. You don't want to get hit by lightning. And then Beersheba and Altamont, the rain's about to move in here very soon. I know you haven't had much all day, but it's about to move in there shortly. In Pikeville, you'll be getting this as well, along with Ray County. Again, the main area right now that has the strongest thunderstorm activity in the entire tri-state and the entire region is this, what you see right here, moving across Scottsboro and in the Sand Mountain area of northeast Alabama. Again, this is for a storm that could produce pea-sized hail, some gusty winds, again 40, 50 miles an hour. Not seeing any signs of rotation, so this is not tornadic at the moment, so I want to reassure everybody on that, at least for the moment. If that changes, of course, I will let you know right away. And then out here to the east, because I do also want to warn those of you in Chattooga County and southern Walker County that this is heading your way within the next hour or so down the road. So heads up out in here along Highway 27 and such in other areas, because this is heading in your direction. And in case you may be watching from Rome, this is also going to head in your direction too, within an hour or two as well. So again, all areas are pretty much getting some kind of rain and thunderstorm activity. The good thing here is that the severe stuff, though, is staying south. The strong, severe stuff is staying south. We don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, so that's a great sign. We don't have any kind of severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings or even flash flood warnings or anything like that in effect. So as long as it stays that way, then things are good. And all we have for the moment are these advisories here. And this one up here to the north is just about to expire here. And it's actually about to expire right now. It expires in exactly 3 minutes from now. And that's the first special weather statement. And this one's going to take over here to the south. So this second one you see here that covers Henniger, Sylvania, Rainsville, and Fife, and points west. This is the one that's going to stay in effect through the next 30 minutes until 7:15. So by the time we get to 7:15, this in here should be somewhere out closer to the Georgia state line by that point. So it'll be pretty much encroaching on far southern Dade, the southern half of Walker, and most of Chattooga County, and also Floyd County here down the road. And so those of you also in Rainsville, Powell area, Powell is starting to get heavy there. Section, Langston, you're pretty much in the thick of it right now. Scottsboro's getting some heavy stuff up in here. So Roseberry, Sam Gant subdivision, where the old Bellefonte nuclear plant is up there near Hollywood and points south. That's where the heaviest part of this is. So 72 and south roughly. And there's Pisgah. Rosalie is up here on the northern end of all this. But again, it's about to get heavy there soon. Eider, get ready. It's moving your way. Valley Head, Hammondville, this is also moving your way, as well as Mentone. And in Sylvania, this is almost on your doorstep here. So Rainsville, Sylvania, this really heavy stuff you see out here to the west in the red and the pink is heading your way. And what the pink indicates on here is there could be some pea-sized hail. That's what hail comes out as. So when you see pink, in this instance, when it comes to thunderstorms, that usually means hail. And red, the red you see on radar means torrential rain. And I mean rain like a downpour. Very heavy rain. And same with pink. I mean, you don't want to like seeing red and pink on radar when it comes to storms. Because that means you're going to get at the minimum a pretty big downpour. But the good thing here is, at least in the wind mode, and I'll double check the wind mode here. Again, nothing really striking out here at the moment. Again, I mean, this is a pretty good strong punch of wind here, so I'll query some of the values here. Again, 40, 45 being indicated here. 40, 45 mile an hour gusts here being indicated on the south side of Scottsboro. So a lot of subdivisions out here near the lake here on the south side of town that are getting in on this. Langston also getting ready to get in on this, so the gust front's pretty much over you right now. So section, that's moving into your area. Same with Dutton. So there's Alabama Highway 40, Alabama Highway 35, and 71 here on the mountains. So these are the areas it's going to be going over next, along with Highway 75. And there may be something trying to get going right here. There is a little bit of red and green trying to meet here south of Langston, but I'll wait for some consistency there before being concerned about that. But so far, that's just a gusty wind signature at the moment. Again, this is just gusty wind as well, mostly down into the Gunnersville area and moving towards Albertville. And this cell from Holly Pond's heading your way, so heads up around Albertville and Boaz and Lake Gunnersville and Gunnersville proper. And then up here again on the Tennessee side real quick, just make sure we don't forget anybody. Again, some heavy downpours and thunderstorms going around McMinnville right now. But you got one that's going to head your way from Cannon County soon. Fall Creek Falls is getting some good downpours right now, I see here. So right around State Route 30 there, and you also got 285 there as well, 284. That's the zone where this is over right now. So right over Fall Creek Falls, moving into the northwestern areas of Bledsoe County, Mount Crest. That's heading your way and might clip the north side of Pikeville soon. But again, these are non-severe up in here, just some good downpours and some occasional thunder and lightning. And we can pretty much say, the same for Lincoln, Moore, Coffee, Franklin, Grundy, Marion, Squatchy, Hamilton, and Bradley counties here. Just some good soaking rains in here. It's good sleeping weather, good movie watching weather inside. All that good stuff here. So this can put you to sleep right here. I mean, hearing this on your rooftop. So this is just good soaking rain here moving across southern Tennessee. And occasionally, as you see here on this map, there is some lightning, some thunder in here too. But again, that is non-severe. And we got a new advisory here that just came in. This is going to cover the southern half of DeKalb County, Alabama, and all of Marshall County. So this is going to be for this southern extent here. And hopefully, if it keeps trending south, it might take it into areas more south of our coverage area and may take Walker and Dade completely out of this. So we're hoping that'll be the case, but we'll see. Again, let me get you the latest on that new advisory that was just issued here by the NWS in Huntsville there. And this is the latest I have. Let me see here. There we go. A strong thunderstorm will affect Marshall, southeastern Madison, southwestern DeKalb, and northeastern Coleman counties through 7:30. At 6:46, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Strawberry. Yes, that's a real town name. It's just south of Arab. It's moving east at 45 miles an hour. Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour and pea-sized hail. It's radar indicated. Locations in the path of this include Albertville, Fort Payne, Boaz, Gunnersville, Arab, Crossville, Alabama, Fife, Grant, Geraldine, and Holly Pond. So those are locations in the path of this segment. If outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside a building. So if you hear thunder, there's always a rule here when it comes to thunder. When thunder roars, there's a saying from what's emphasized here. When thunder roars, go indoors. That's the simple rule. If you're outside, you hear thunder, go inside, wait it out, and everything else. So the only advisories we have at the moment are basically for Sand Mountain. So think Rosalie and south, that part of Sand Mountain, not Higdon and Bryant and Dade County. You guys are good up that way. But from Rosalie and south through Section, Langston, Rainsville, Sylvania, Fife, Geraldine, Crossville, Alabama, Gunnersville, Albertville, Boaz, that area, Arab. Those are the only areas that have the strongest thunderstorms that are ongoing at the moment. And looking here at velocities here real quick, just got a new scan in on that. Let's see how that looks. Again, when it changes out of that funky color, that's because there's a little bit of connection there. So it takes a few seconds for that to load up. But again, we're seeing some pretty good returns here. So that indicates some gusty winds here, probably again in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range here, moving across southern Jackson into Marshall and DeKalb. There is a little bit of broad rotational loft here west of Albertville that'll have to be watched, but that's getting ready to get eaten up by this line here, so that should get rid of whatever that is right there here pretty soon. But most part though, this is just some good old-fashioned heavy rain, thunder, lightning, gusty winds, and then on this north side up here, where you got Section and Langston points east to Powell, that's going to be the zone where there'll be some small hail. And then again here on the Tennessee side, it's just all rain in here. And then McMinnville, again, things are starting to fill up there. Let's check on you guys. Right now, you just some heavy rain there moving in on the southwest side of town. So out there by the schools and all that down there on the southwest side of McMinnville. So right there by the high school, Vervilla Road, that part moving up towards Shellsford and the downtown area of McMinnville. So that's a good downpour there. Also around the Mooneyham community in northeastern Van Buren County along State Highway 285, a good downpour there. Fall Creek Falls is still getting some good downpours in that area too. Woodbury is out of this now, but you're going to have some lighter rain. Manchester, Coffee County got a good downpour north of town from New Union up towards Pocahontas, and that's going to head towards Shady Grove and Summitville and Morrison soon. So quick hitting downpour there. Again, light to moderate to heavy rain continuation here from Normandy Lake through Manchester, Hillsborough, Pelham, Tullahoma, moving down to Lincoln County where it picks up in intensity a little. Lynchburg and Moore counties, continuation of heavy rain. So all of Franklin County. I mean, look at Franklin County here, and also Marion. Pretty much all yellow, which indicates moderate rain. And now that's starting to move into Chattanooga. So downtown Chattanooga, things are getting wet out there. It's getting messy here this evening as we travel, as we pretty much the whole I-24 stretch here from Manchester all the way down through Mont Eagle, it's Jasper, South Pitt area, all the way through Kimball as well, and over into Chat, Whiteside, and eventually up I-75 into Cleveland. This stretch right here is lots of rain here. Good soaking too. So be careful if you do have to travel out there tonight, like for work or something, and you have to do so. Be very, very careful out there. I mean, especially considering it's nighttime and everything else. It's easy to hydroplane when you got moderate to heavy rain falling consistently like this. So that's just something to take note of. So yeah, take your time and make sure your lights are on and low beams are on and all that stuff if you have to travel out tonight. At least this first part of the night, especially this first half of the night here. But the good thing is this should be all out of here. At least the rain part of this should all be out of here, at least from this first wave. Remember, we got another wave overnight, so just a quick note there. But from this first wave will be out by midnight, and by no later than midnight. And after that is when the second wave develops, and the second wave will be more scattered in nature, and that'll be overnight and into the first part of the first half, we'll say, of Tuesday. So we'll have some areas where we'll have some locally heavy rain, some thunder, lightning occasionally. Now, it's not an all-day washout thing, but from time to time, overnight and during the first half of Tuesday at times, you may see some passing rain, some passing showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two occasionally from time to time. So don't be caught off guard if you wake up in the morning and you hear rain, or if you wake up overnight and hear it. But again, I'll have more on that here tonight here in about an hour or so once we get through with this. So after we get through this, then I can focus on getting the talk about the second wave a little bit more, and also going a little bit about Wednesday night. Again, winds are actually increasing up in here along Sand Mountain here, along the Jackson, DeKalb, Marshall County line. And still watching this little area back in here to the west of downtown Albertville. There could be a little bit of a broad rotation there, but at the moment, this is still mostly just some gusty wind up in here that's moving towards Fife and Geraldine, eventually Rainsville, Sylvania area, and then eventually towards Pine Ridge and Fort Payne eventually down the road. In Collinsville, this is going to also head your way, so heads up in Collinsville. And that is weakened considerably out towards Albertville, so that's good. So, again, this is just a gusty wind here moving to the south and east along with the torrential rain and lightning. And up in here, there's still some indications here of small hail, and I haven't had a chance to do this yet, but let's look and see what it looks like here on the severe hail index thing. Let's look at the vertically integrated liquid, and there is some indication of hail here. So where you see this purple on this map, they're just on the south side of section, right around Hancock Crossroads, moving towards Powell. They're around Northeast Alabama Community College. That's going to be the zone where there could be some small hail. It's not large hail, but there could be some pea to maybe up to penny-size hail, but nothing large, nothing that will damage your car or anything. But this is moving east towards Sylvania, Rainsville, and Powell here very soon. So heads up in those areas. Again, Fife, you'll be on the south side of this. And Fort Payne will be pretty close to this as well. Fort Payne's right over in here where it says Pine Ridge. So right in here, this is where it's going to be going next. So heads up along I-59 as well. I want to make sure that you're staying safe as well. For anybody that's traveling between Chattanooga and Birmingham, some very heavy thunderstorms are moving across that area. Please be careful out there tonight. Whatever you do, just please be careful, especially when you got conditions like this. When you run into this, it's just a big mess out there. As I said, winds continue to be below severe levels, but still enough to watch. And again, once this gets out, hopefully we'll no longer have to worry about any kind of severe weather. And by the way, just a quick reminder, and as I put this on a loop here, you can kind of see where the direction's gone. Now, before I let you know about the watch here, I want to note here that as this complex has came together here, notice how this one storm was moving due east. And as it merged with the other cells, look what's happening. It's actually moving more east-southeast. So it's starting to curve a little more to the south and east as the line forms. And this happens a lot of times in the summertime when you get lines of storms in the summer here. The individual ones will move east, but then when they converge, they'll turn direction and turn to the right and move more southeast. And you can kind of see that on a loop here on the reflectivity as well. And you can kind of see right in here it's starting to make that turn, just a little bit of a turn to the east-southeast. So that will take this heavy part in here and move it more towards basically from about Lafayette downtown and south through Tryon, Somerville, Lyrelow, Cloudland area, Cloudland community, not Cloud Canyon, but the Cloudland community in northwestern Chattanooga County. And it's going to move into Rome and eventually Calhoun as well. So that's going to be the trajectory of this now that this has become one line of heavy thunderstorms. Then again up in here, good old rain, good old-fashioned rain. And the back edge of this rain and thunderstorms is actually crossing I-65 right now. So the back edge of this is quickly cleared of Pulaski and Lawrenceburg and west from there. So now the western edge of this rain shield is now crossing I-65 as we speak. So the end is in sight. So it's actually going to end a little quicker than originally thought, just a little bit. So that'd be a good sign. But still, we still got at least a couple more hours at minimum of this rain and thunderstorm activity, at least as far as the viewing area is concerned. My coverage area is concerned, I should say. Again, McMinnville's getting a pretty good downpour right now, especially on the eastern half of town from downtown and east. Centertown's getting a good one too. The one that was still got a good downpour here north of Summitville, but that's weakening a good bit. Pretty good cell here over Rock Island, moving towards Doyle. They're in the southern end of White County. But again, this is non-severe. These two cells Again, this right here is moved out of Fall Creek Falls and is moving into Mount Crest. Mount Crest and just north of downtown Pikeville there along State Route 30 and 101. So that's heading up towards the Bledsoe County Correctional Place facility there, and also heading towards Melvine, Cold Spring. Here's 127, so some good rainfall here. That's going to cross 127 within the next 30 minutes or so. And then, really, outside of that, nothing else. I mean, just this big rain shield here across southern Tennessee, across the southernmost counties. So think Lincoln, Moore, Coffee, Franklin, Grundy, Marion, Squatchy, Bradley. Some of the light rain now making its way into Polk County, so it's starting to pick up over there a little. Etowah, Athens, you're on the north edge of this. Dayton, you're also on the edge of that. And again, back down here to the south, we got some good old-fashioned rain also in northwest Georgia. But again, this is non-severe here. And this is also non-severe, but stronger than the rest of them as it moves across the southern half of Sand Mountain and moves basically right down into the Fort Payne area as we speak. Again, checking the new velocity that just came across in, and again, as I said, so far, still remaining gusty. Nothing tornadic with this, so that's encouraging at the moment. Again, I don't want to jinx it, so that's why I'm saying at the moment. Just we don't jinx anything here. But this heavy wind is moving into Geraldine, or is about to here very shortly. Also Fife, Pine Ridge area, and then eventually Fort Payne, and up atop Lookout Mountain here. So Little River Canyon, Dogtown, those areas, you'll be getting in on this thunderstorm activity here very soon, within the next 30 minutes or so. And then afterwards, this is going to head down towards Gadsden and Weiss Lake, as well as affect areas like Chattooga County, Georgia, and also Floyd County. So heads up in those areas. So if you know anybody that happens to be down on Weiss Lake right now, give them a heads up. Make sure they're aware and they're inside, out of the elements there, because you don't want to be out there when there's lightning. So make sure they're inside somewhere safe. That's in a good, safe location, like a sturdy structure or something, and wait this out. Wait for the thunderstorms to pass. Again, we're still getting some hail indication here. Again, very small, but still a little bit of hail there, moving towards Sylvania, Rainsville, and Powell. And it's moving southeast from there towards Interstate 59 there in DeKalb County there in Alabama. And then some more rain back out here to the north and west, so High Top, Skyline, and out towards Madison County, Lincoln County. Again, Lincoln County is now getting in on the backside of this, so I said that rain line, the back edge of the rain shield is now clearing I-65. So things are ending there from this first wave. Again, first of 3 we got coming up here over the next 48 hours. And then, again, Fayetteville, this is going to probably end, I would say, Lincoln County, at least in Fayetteville. It's probably going to end within the next half hour, and probably within the next hour or so in Winchester. So, again, the back edge of this rain is going to be approaching those areas here very soon, as well as Coffee County and everybody else. And again, looks like again, we haven't gotten a new scan here just yet. It's about to come in here shortly. Again, so far up in here, you get up here from Athens up towards Sweetwater, Madisonville, and even Dayton and Spring City, and nothing's happened. Nothing much has happened up here yet. The rain's on its way, but so far we've managed to stay dry during this whole deal. But that is going to change here. You'll at least get some rain out of it. You may not get as much other places to your south and west, but up in here, northern counties and communities up in here, you're going to eventually get in on the rain at least soon. So hang in there if you want some. I mean, if you want some rain, you will get that. I mean, it may not be as much as areas to your south and west, but you'll get some. And then once you get from like I-40 and north, nothing up that way. Nothing at all. And there's a new scan, speaking of which, there. Got a new scan of the radar, 7:03 there. And that matches up the time pretty well. Again, the good thing here is this still remains linear. I get the red punching out here being the more dominant color, so that indicates a strong straight line wind. 40, maybe 50 miles an hour in some locations. But again, mostly 40 to 50. As that moves south and east towards the Fort Payne area and I-59. So let me see here. Let me go in here some quick questions here, and before I do want to note here real quick that the severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect for those of you in Jackson, DeKalb, and Marshall counties in northeast Alabama, and Dade, Walker, and Chattooga counties in northwest Georgia until 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's a quick reminder that that's the counties that are under the severe thunderstorm watch. So we only have 6 counties in our coverage area that are under any kind of severe watch, and this would be a severe thunderstorm watch. And I'll reiterate the counties again: Chattooga, Dade, Walker in Georgia, DeKalb, Jackson, and Marshall in Alabama locally. Now the watch here goes farther south, and it covers pretty much the whole northern half of Alabama, roughly, and also the far western extent of Georgia, just west of Metro Atlanta. So that's pretty much the farthest out extent of this watch as far as the states of Alabama and Georgia are concerned. But again, nothing here on the Tennessee side. So that's the good news there. With no watches, no warnings up in here, just some light to moderate to occasionally heavy rain, a little bit of thunder occasionally as well, but nothing severe. Speaking of outlooks, we're going to have it on day 3, but here's the current outlook. This is for day 1. We can pretty much X out this marginal, so what I'll do here is cross this out up in here. We can pretty much do that. I know it's unofficial, but up in here on the Tennessee side, X, nothing as far as severe weather is concerned. So this is all going to be down in here. So where you see this yellow here, and it matches up very well with where the heaviest storms are. So where you see the yellow in here, basically from about Scottsboro and south, even though Scottsboro's on the back side, so I'll go ahead and give you the clear there from this first wave. But we'll just say south of Scottsboro through Sand Mountain, Fort Payne, points south through Marshall County and east towards the Rome area, and also Summerville. This is going to be the main zone here for the next couple of hours, next hour to 2 hours or so, for any kind of strong to severe thunderstorm potential. And then that will eventually move south towards Metro Atlanta with time and get farther and farther away from us. So some very encouraging news there. Again, a new advisory has been issued here. Just got a new one here. This goes until the next 38 minutes. So this is going to go until 7:45. So let me get that information out to you real quick, and then I'll answer some, see if I can find some questions on a strong thunderstorm will impact southeastern Jackson and DeKalb counties in Alabama through 7:45 p.m. Central. At 7:06 p.m. Central, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Fife, or 7 miles to the west of Rainsville. It's moving east at 30 miles an hour. Hazard is wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour and up to penny-size hail. Sources radar indicated gusty winds could blow around tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. So locations in the path of this storm include Albertville, Scottsboro. Scottsboro's on the backside of this, so let me correct that. Albertville, Fort Payne, Boaz, Rainsville, Henniger, Crossville, Alabama, Sylvania, and Fife. So those are the locations in the path of this. So again, Guntersville and Scottsboro, you're on the backside of this. You're good. If you're in Stevenson, Bridgeport, you're good. Again, Section, Langston, Pisgah, you're out of this now. This is pretty much now exclusively in the Albertville, Boaz areas of Marshall County, and pretty much now a DeKalb County, Alabama deal now. So, and this is pretty much now for mostly DeKalb County in the southeastern end of Marshall County. So, Jackson, we can pretty much clear now. I know technically the advisory is still in effect, but you're out of the woods on this. You just got some rain and maybe some thunder, but that's all. And Tennessee side is the same thing, just rain and thunder. Again, we'll check out the updated wind mode here just to make sure we don't have anything surprising trying to pop, and so far I haven't seen that. As I said, it remains to be one linear line here, so that's a good sign. Again, the red's punching out here against the greens, but it's very broad and in a line, and you can kind of see right in here, and I'll draw it out. You kind of see right there, it's not the best drawing, but you see right in there, again, this is punching south and east Again, it's pretty much a direct northwest to southeast wind in a straight line. That's the direction this is blowing from. So, as long as it stays in that direction and we don't get any, real southerly flow into that, then we won't have to worry about anything tornadic or anything with that. So, again, this is the only strong thunderstorm area I'm working at this time. So, let me go ahead and run over here to the comments here real quick just to see what we have. What are you thinking about North Trenton? Just heavy rain and just moderate to heavy rain and maybe some thunder up there, but nothing severe in the Trenton area. Currently heading north on I-59 for Chattanooga and in between Fort Payne and the Alabama-Georgia state line. It's absolutely pouring and heavy lightning. Thank you for that report there. What about Dalton? Just heavy rain and thunder there. So you got light rain now, moderate rain moving in, and maybe heavy at times, but just some rain and thunder there. It's bad in Sylvania, Fort Payne line. Hail, thank you for letting me know about that, Penny. Thunderstorm in McMinnville, thank you for that report, Patty. How much longer in Henniger? Probably no more than a few more minutes. You're getting on the backside of all this now. So the worst of this storm is starting to pass to your south. So give it about maybe 5, maybe 10, 15 more minutes at most, and you'll be out of the woods, at least on the heaviest side. Now, you'll still have rain and thunder, but the most intense part of that storm is going to be south of you. How's it look for Stevenson? Just moderate to heavy rain there. No big deal. Chickamauga, just moderate to heavy rain. Storm near Albertville looks nasty. Yes, it does. Will it weaken before Trine and Somerville? It could. It could also strengthen. I mean, that's kind of a wait and see thing, but there's also a possibility it heads a little more southward enough where it might try to avoid you. But at the moment, as I put this in the motion here, you can see right in here, it is heading in your direction actually. So this east-southeastward direction of this line, but so far, it's staying below severe levels. So if you do get any strong thunderstorm activity, you'll like over there in Chattooga County and Trine and Somerville, you'll get heavy rain, you'll get the heavy downpours, you'll get the lightning and thunder, gusty winds, and if the storms are strong enough, you may get some pea-sized hail, but it's nothing big. Scottsboro, you're on the backside of this now, so you're good. You just have rain there. Again, Rock Island up here, just some rain. McMinnville, just rain. Getting big thunder and lightning in Valley Head. Rain, thunder, lightning trying, but no wind so far. Hope it stays this way. Chickamauga, Fort Oglethorpe, again, just some moderate to heavy rain, maybe a rumble thunder or two, but nothing big. Warnings, no warnings in effect for now, so I wouldn't rule out the possibility in our far southern areas, south of Chattanooga, that might get a warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning, but right now there's no evidence of that at this time. Hickson, just some rain for you guys. Trenton, just some rain for you guys. And again, Bridgeport, again, just rain up there. Will it weaken before coming to Murray County? The good thing here is this strongest activity is staying to your south and west. So if you're in Murray County, you just got some rain moving in. So those are the recent questions that I can find on here. Dalton, just rain there. Rising Fawn, just rain. Calhoun, this will be in your area within the next hour or two. Dayton, you'll be getting in on the rain here very soon. I know it's been dry out there for the majority of the day, but you're going to get in on the rain activity here within the next hour or two. Southside town's already getting it, but downtown and Norfolk should be soon. Pisgah, you are on the back side of this, so you're good. So the strongest activity's passed to your south. You just got rain there now. So the worst of it's south of you now. Nothing to worry about though tonight? Yes. So yeah, you are having the heavy downpours and such, the good thing here is that that's below severe levels in your area. Light rain in Cleveland. So, again, I'm reading off a lot of these. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anybody else. Like I say, there's a lot. I mean, I'm not perfect. I may miss some comments, but again, I'll see how far Facebook will let me go down here on my phone. Looks like I covered all that. That's good. At least for right now. I'll refresh to double check real quick. Yeah, great point. Yeah, I mean, that's something I've been emphasizing there, Jordan. Yeah, in the state of Tennessee, you're good. Yeah, thank you for doing that. Really appreciate that. That helps. Um, you're welcome, Sage. You're welcome, Josh and Caitlin and everybody else. So you're windy and raining here in Rock Island. Rising Fawn. Okay, here's a question. Rising Fawn. Yeah, just rain there. Alrighty, so that's pretty much that with the questions, at least for now. At least on that end of things. And checking out a new update here on velocity here that just came in. Again, just some still getting some strong wind indications here, moving across DeKalb County and the southeastern end of Marshall County. But again, nothing severe at this time. Again, Fort Payne's about to get hit pretty hard here, so you get ready for a big downpour and a pretty potent, strong thunderstorm. Non-severe, but it's going to pack a punch there in Fort Payne pretty soon. Same with Collinsville. Get ready in Collinsville as well. And also Lookout Mountain in DeKalb County. So basically from Valley Head and Hammondville and points east towards Mentone, all the way down the mountain to Gadsden. This is going to be the zone here where this heavy activity crosses next, and it's going to be heavy. So this thunderstorm is definitely going to be heavy and strong. But the good thing here at the moment is it's not severe. It's below severe levels. And remember, severe criteria is when you have wind gusts of 58 miles per hour or higher, or hail that is 1 inch in diameter or larger. And so far, criteria is not being met here. So you have to have one of those in order to have a severe thunderstorm. And so far I haven't seen that. So some really good news there. So let me go I'm going to go over here on the YouTube side here real quick and see if I can find any questions on this, on that end. And don't see anything there. Okay. So no questions on the YouTube side. Got none watching over there. So again, as I said, I'm also in case those of you still watching, I also have this on YouTube as well. And so whenever I do any kind of like live weather coverage, any live storm coverage, especially when it's ongoing, I also broadcast the lives over to YouTube. So in addition to Facebook, you can find it on YouTube on my YouTube channel. That's Chase Bryant Weather. Same page as my Facebook name. And you can subscribe for free. Don't have to pay $1 for it. That's the good thing. Don't even have to pay a dime or a penny. It's free. The subscription's free, and you can turn notifications on, and you can actually get notified whenever I go live for any kind of severe weather event. So that's the YouTube channel. Same name as my Facebook page, Chase Bryant Weather. Is Bridgeport just going to be rain and thunder now? Yes. Winchester, Timms Ford area, you got rain and thunder for probably the next half hour to an hour, but it's going to end here pretty quickly. The back edge is now moving into Fayetteville, so it'll be there pretty quickly. So about another maybe 30 minutes ish, maybe up to an hour at most. But Winchester, you're going to be at the end of this first wave here by the end of it. And again, just to remind everyone that we will have another wave developing to the west during the night, and we'll have some scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight and through the first half of Tuesday at times. Not going to be an all-day washout, but there will be some times where you'll be running through some downpours and such every now and then. And these will be different from this. It won't be the big rain mass that you see here. These are going to be more of those scattered, almost pop-up variety downpours and thunderstorms. So they'll be more hit or miss in nature, to where there's one location getting one and then somebody down the street not getting anything at that time. That's kind of the nature of this. So it's kind of like playing, whack-a-mole in a way, basically. Almost like a summer day, basically. But this will be a little bit, a little more scattered. So there will be some places that probably don't get much, but there will also be places that likely get some rain out of it. Thunder, lightning, and heavy rain here in Bryant, Hogjaw Valley, County Road 91. Thank you for that report. Yeah, that's a pretty good looking bow echo there down there in DeKalb County there. And what I mean by that is, for those that don't know what that is, when you get a bow like this, right here, that's an indication of a strong straight line wind. And it's a direct west to east wind. So when you get a bow like that on the leading edge, you can get some very strong winds along that leading edge. And so far they're below severe levels, but it's pretty intense. And as you see here, Fort Payne is pretty much getting hammered right now. So the heaviest is moving right down the mountain and right into Fort Payne from Plainview and Rainsville here. So again, there could be some pea-sized hail embedded in here, mixed in, but again, so far this storm is still showing signs that it's still below severe levels. But again, it's got good structure to it. It's definitely got a healthy structure to it. It's just not quite enough to, at least at the moment, to be severe, to be classified as severe. So that's a good thing on that end. And up here on the Tennessee side, here's a good downpour moving across Grundy County, so Altamont, Colmont, moving up to Worship and Grutley. And then between McMinnville and Spencer, good downpour here, moving right down Highway 30. So that'll be in Spencer within the next probably 10 minutes or so. And then out here to the east where nothing's been going on, Polk County, McMinn, Monroe, you got some rain moving in here soon. But again, non-severe. Just some good soaking rain. And that's all there is to it, thankfully. And you can kind of see the loop of this over the last hour. And you see it is quickly advancing to the east. So we're actually going to get this back edge out of here sooner. A little sooner than previously anticipated, so that's a good thing. So it'll be in and out, and even the southern part is kind of sped up a little bit too. I've noticed. Let's see what the updated speed on that is. 30, but yeah, this is also, as this has become more of a line, it's also tried to speed up a little bit. So again, I-59 is just a mess right now. So Highway 59, Highway 11, and then of course right here along 35 also. And DeKalb County is just a mess. This is just an ugly mess down here. Torrential rain. Lots of lightning in here. Gusty wind on the leading edge. Some pea-sized hail also mixed in. Just a mess. So anybody that's traveling in DeKalb, or planning to, between Birmingham and Chat, be very careful. Definitely a mess out there. I said earlier this afternoon, this evening was going to be messy, with all this rain and such, so it's definitely verifying on that end of the scale, at least as far as this convection and everything is concerned. Again, Cleveland rain starting to pick up there, I see, according to radar. And in northwest Georgia, you still got some good moderate to heavy rain falling, some little bit of lightning in here mixed in, but nothing severe there. So the only part of North Georgia, or really the only parts of North Georgia, if they get any strong thunderstorm activity there, it'll be mainly in Chattooga County, Gordon County, and points south. Everywhere north of that is clear for the night when it comes to any kind of strong or severe storms, other than just rain and thunder. That's all it is. Up to the north of this, severe weather threat's over. For DeKalb County, about another half hour, and then over here to Summerville and Calhoun about another hour or so, and then this will move south. And I did just see where the watch got extended a little bit east, not including any of us, but down towards metro Atlanta, including Fulton County. They're under a severe thunderstorm watch also until 11 o'clock. So this watch has been pushed a little farther east to account for this growing line segment right here. that runs from Fort Payne all the way down through Gadsden and Attala and down towards the northern sections of Birmingham. And that's a tornado warning, actually, north of Tuscaloosa there. I'll check that out real quick in case you might have any relatives down that way. Let's check that out real quick. Again, this is something that we know James Spann's covering probably right now. So this is heading towards Birmingham in that market. And right there, that's a pretty good wind punch right there. So this is a tornado warning west of Birmingham. So if you know anybody down there towards Bessemer, Hueytown, downtown Birmingham, give them a heads up there, because if that holds together, that's where it's going. So that's going to be something to watch. Now, that one's more in that quick spin-up variety from the look of that, because it's a circulation along the leading edge, a broad circulation. So, yeah, if you have any relatives you know down that way in southwestern Jefferson County there, just let them know that they need to be ready to seek shelter, because that could be a possible tornado down that way. But back up here, we don't have any of that down there, so it was just something that just caught my eye down there when I saw that red polygon down that way. So again, right now, locally, the only area seeing any kind of strong thunderstorms is DeKalb County. And even there, it's below severe levels, so that's good. Nothing tornadic up here. But again, a pretty healthy looking bow echo moving through Pine Ridge, Plainview, Sylvania, Rainsville area, and moving right into the Fort Payne area and also atop Lookout Mountain. So Lookout Mountain and DeKalb County, so basically Little River Canyon is where this is going over. Beautiful area, by the way. Beautiful area. I mean, lots of territory. Yep, respect the polygon. Yes, sir. Let's see here. Not make sure I'm missing any reports. Don't see anything else at the moment there. But here's the other part of this one right here, just a heavy downpour at the head of this line here. It's moving across Lake Howard there, and it's moving towards Menlo. So Chattooga County, this is on your doorstep here. So Chattooga County, this heavy line is heading your way. So far, it's still below severe levels, but it's going to be strong. You're going to have some heavy rain, some lightning, some thunder, gusty winds, maybe a little bit of pea-sized hail, but shouldn't be anything more than that, as long as these wind velocities stay below severe levels. And I'll query some of that just to make sure it is. Yeah, I mean, it's getting close. I mean, that's a 51. Remember, as the radar beam goes farther out, the numbers of velocity on here, that's higher up. You're looking higher up in the clouds, so that's obviously going to be lower at the surface, probably towards around 40. I would say 30 to 40 at the surface. So, again, some strong wind nonetheless, but it's non-severe wind, crossing I-59 and moving there atop of Lookout Mountain, and eventually going to head down towards Weiss Lake as well. So if you know anybody down towards Weiss Lake, get ready for a pretty big thunderstorm down there, but nothing on the severe level. Just a strong storm with the heavy downpours, frequent lightning. Winds may gust 30, 40 miles an hour, maybe up to 50 in a few isolated pockets. But at the moment, it's non-severe. But you can just tell by looking at it here. You can see all the bolts on here. A lot of lightning in this. So the only really severe area at this time is that one tornado warning, and that's been extended as a severe thunderstorm warning into Jefferson County. So they did not extend that, at least right now, they did not extend that tornado warning into Metro Birmingham, but they did extend it as a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's actually encouraging. So hopefully that rotation there north of Tuscaloosa is weakening. So hopefully that's a good sign. And then, so yeah, that's well outside of our immediate area, but I figured I'd point that out in case you have friends or family down that way. But that's the only area actually seeing any kind of severe weather right now, as far as like severe thunderstorms are concerned when it comes to criteria. I mean, everything else has fallen below severe limits. All right, here, since we don't have anything else ongoing and things are still behaving and such, and this line will be moving out of our area here within the next 30 minutes to an hour, at least out of my immediate coverage area here soon. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here since we don't have anything ongoing, no warnings, nothing life-threatening or anything like that. So I figured I'd stay on here just to get storms over Sand Mountain and get to a point where I'm confident enough to know for sure that they're not going to really rotate at least. So that's the good thing there. So none of that's happening. So again, for DeKalb County, Fort Payne, before I go, for now, I'll have another update for you here in about an hour regarding the overnight and the Wednesday night situation. But for Fort Payne and DeKalb County along and east of I-59, up atop Lookout down that way, heavy downpours, frequent lightning, gusty winds, maybe some pea-sized hail, but that should be moving out of DeKalb County within the next 20 minutes to a half hour. And in Chattooga County, heads up there, you got a pretty strong thunderstorm heading your way with again, heavy downpours, lightning, gusty winds. That'll be moving out of there in about an hour. So it'll be moving in there within the next 30 minutes and then out of there within about an hour or so. And within the next 1 to 2 hours, this will affect Rome and Calhoun. So within the next hour or two for those locations. So with that said here, I'll be back for another update here in about an hour. Unless any warning breaks somehow before that includes part of our area. Of course, I'll let you know about that. But as long as we don't have anything like tornadic or anything for the next hour, we should be good on that and shouldn't have to do any more lives. So the next update will be a written one. It'll be a typed out one as I usually do on most nights. And it'll go over the overnight, Tuesday morning, scattered rain, thunderstorm potential, and then again, the Wednesday evening, Wednesday night severe threat as well. So I'll see you then. Until then, have a good evening.